Hello, everybody. Greetings. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back. It's Tuesday night. Time for ranking of the songs off an album. This is a show that we do bi-weekly, alternates with album sides. I could have done album sides with this one too. I thought about it while I was looking at it. It may end up on album sides at some point, but today we're going to rank the songs from Blue Oyster Cult's Fire of Unknown Origin. This was actually my first Blue Oyster Cult album. I got this back when it came out. I think it came out in 82 or maybe it was 83. Let me see here. I think it was 82 though. Oh, it was actually, it says 81, so that far back. So I knew about Blue Oyster Cult even back then, and up until 3 years ago. So looking at 40 years went by before I got my second Blue Oyster Cult album. Yeah, I'm prolific that way. Anyways, so this has 9 tracks on it, and I was looking at the tracks today, and I listened to the album, and was thinking to myself, there's not much separating these tracks. I've come to like all of them, except for maybe one track. There's one track that's a little less than the rest of them, but primarily speaking, they're all pretty high on my list. And there's never really been a favorite track on here. I mean, there's been times where this one, "Burning for You," has been number one, or "Fire of Unknown Origin's been number one. As "Veteran of 1,000 Psychic Wars" has been number one. Joan Crawford's been number one. "Even Soul Survivor's been number one. Mostly all those songs have been number one at different points. So, but today I ranked them according to how I like them today, and that's how I'm going to go about it. So for those of you who haven't seen this before, it's pretty standard. Most people that do this kind of thing do it the same way. I'm going to rank it from my least favorite to my most favorite, and then I'll just reiterate them at the end. So coming in at number 9, ranking on this album, is "Don't Turn Your Back," which is the last track on the album. It's also, to me, the one track on the album I don't really care for. I never really liked this. I never hated it. It's not one of my favorite tracks by any stretch. And I think this is the one of the songs that Buck Dharma sings. He sings this in "Burning for You." But I never really cared much for this track. So the next track out, number 8, this is a song I liked quite a bit around the beginning and at the beginning when I first got this album, because the movie Heavy Metal had just come out, and this was in that movie. Heavy Metal, the Black and Silver, that the song was in that movie. I did like it, but it's never been my favorite on the album, and today it's going to come in at number 8. Number 7, "Vengeance the Pact." This is a really good song. Starts out really heavy. It's the opening track on side 2. It's never been a favorite, again, not a favorite song from this album, but it's always been a song that I've liked a fair bit. So number 7. Number 6 is the song "After Dark." This is a track that a lot of people don't really like on this album, but it's had its moments with me. It hasn't not been recently, but there's been times when I really liked it quite a bit. So "After Dark," number 6. Number 5, we're getting into the top 5. Not much separating these top 5, all pretty solid songs. We got the title track here, "Fire of Unknown Origin," which at one point was probably number 1, but it's kind of slipped and sliding around. Coming here at number 5. It's a great opener though. Definitely a killer track. Number 4 is the big hit on the album, "Burning for You." This was number 1 briefly when it was on the charts originally, but it's never been higher than number 3 for me for a long time, I think, just because it gets too much play. But it's not really burned out, but it just gets a lot more play than the rest of the album. You hear it if you happen to be somewhere and it's playing, you'll hear it. So for me, it's number 4 today, but it's still a pretty big track. Number 3, Joan Crawford. This is an absolute killer track. At points, it's been my favorite favorite track, and it's funny that they wrote this about her, and you know, and it made me curious about her more, so I went and studied her history a little bit. Yeah, great track though. Number 2, Veteran of 1,000 Psychic Wars, or Veteran of the Psychic Wars. I always called it 1,000 Psychic Wars because I think that's how it goes lyrically when it's playing. Pretty heavy song, different, not really something that I come. Back then I thought it was a typical Blue Oyster Cult song, but really now that I've listened to a lot more Blue Oyster Cult, I really think that it's not a typical song by them, but still a great song. I love the heavy drum part in here. And then my favorite for now was Soul Survivor. I don't know, it's the lyrics of this. I think it's the story. It always captivates me. I love this particular track quite a bit. But again, you come back next week, this could be number 5. That's how tight this album is. But fantastic album. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, you should really give it a try. If you've wanted to explore Blue Oyster Cult but have never gotten into it, this is a good starting point, I think. It's not my favorite Blue Oyster Cult album anymore. It was for many years because it was the only one, but it's still a fantastic album. So there you have it. Those are my rankings. I guess maybe I should reiterate them. So you got coming in at number 1, Soul Survivor. Number 2, Veteran of Psychic Wars. Number 3 is Joan Crawford. Number 4, Burning for You. Number 5, Fire of Unknown Origin. Number 6, After Dark. Number 7, Vengeance, The Pact. Number 8, Heavy Metal, The Black and Silver. And number 9, Don't Turn Your Back. So that one was easy last. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of ranking the songs off an album. Please hit the like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. If you want to rank the songs for yourself, you can put them down there. I'm always curious to see if how I listen to stuff is similar to what other people listen to. Some people put certain things higher, and I think, oh. And then there's songs I really like, and I think they're great, and then somebody else will just rip the hell out of them. That happens more often than I care to admit. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, and we will see you next week when we'll be doing an episode of Album Sides. So take care.